things. But what if you forgot everything? Your own name, your own family, entire years of your own life. That's what happens in the puzzling condition known as amnesia. It's not just something you see in the movies. For the people you're about to meet, it's painfully real. They've suddenly found themselves strangers in their own lives. Here's Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott.
It mixes me up. I can't remember anything. How can a man lose his memory, his name, everything he's ever known, and still talk like this? As if
It's a classic Hollywood scenario. In the movie Spellbound, the character played by Gregory Peck loses his memory after witnessing a murder.
Amnesia. The trick of the mind for remaining sane. He remains sane by forgetting something too horrible to remember.
But by the end of the movie, he's got his memory back, and the girl. A miraculous recovery, suffering a long-forgotten memory.
But in real life, it doesn't work that way. Amnesia is a debilitating condition that is as confusing to doctors as life is to those living with it. Experts say that the kind of amnesia in Spellbound, resulting from severe psychological trauma, is possible but extremely rare. More often, the cause is lack of oxygen to the brain, head injury, or the virus that causes encephalitis. And unlike the movies, in real life, there are no Hollywood endings.
When Cricket Carpenter walked down the aisle in September 1993, it was the happiest day of her life, a day she thought she'd never forget.
You may kiss your bride.
But just 2 months later, as the newlyweds were driving to Cricket's parents' home in Phoenix to celebrate Thanksgiving, the unthinkable happened.
You just never know. I mean, in a split second, your life can change, just like that.
Cricket was at the wheel, her husband Kim asleep in the back seat.
I heard "watch out" and the most blood-curdling scream.
Cricket had swerved to miss a flatbed truck, but another truck plowed into them from behind. Kim never saw what hit them, but the impact literally sent their car flipping through the air. It landed upside down.
I heard Cricket just gasp, and I thought, oh my gosh, she died.
Cricket was just barely hanging on to life. She had to be cut out of the car and airlifted to a hospital, all the while suffering seizures, head injury, and lapsing into coma. 10 days later, Cricket woke up, but she wasn't the same person. She would have to go through extensive rehabilitation to relearn everything from how to walk to eating and even getting dressed. But more frightening to Kim was what his wife couldn't remember. While she knew her name and her parents' names, she gave the year as 1965. Kim painfully recalls what happened next.
And he said, well, who's your husband? She didn't say anything. I said, who's your husband, Cricket? She said, I'm not married.
Cricket was suffering from amnesia. While she could remember parts of her past, her recent memory, including her wedding, was gone. She didn't even know who Kim was, and accepted only on blind faith that they, in fact, were married. No matter what Kim did, showing his wife pictures, their wedding program, even their video, nothing brought Cricket's memory back.
So why is it that Cricket can't remember her own wedding? The answer has to do with how our brains process and store information, which is the foundation of memory. Say you met me for the first time. Here's what your brain would do. My face would be stored in your occipital lobe.
My name in the temporal lobe, how you know me in the frontal lobe, and how you feel about me in the limbic system. But what makes you remember? That's where this comes in. It's called the hippocampus, and it acts as a sort of switchboard that connects all the different pieces and then binds them together, allowing you to recall a memory. But in amnesia, the hippocampus is damaged, so the various pieces of a memory cannot be bound together.
It's unlikely that somebody ever comes back to be completely normal, and that's certainly different than the typical Hollywood portrayal of amnesia.
Dr. Jordan Grafman is chief of a cognitive neuroscience program at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland.
The hippocampi, the structures that are most important for memory, are in the temporal lobes.
He is also a member of the Dana Alliance for Brain Initiatives and specializes in the recovery of function after brain damage, including amnesia.
A patient with amnesia still has the memories in their brain and can even lay down new memories, but simply can't get at them.
Can't get at them and can't tie the various memories together to give us a sense of an episode.
So for Cricket Carpenter, that means her wedding is truly a bygone memory. So what's the chance that given many months or years of recovery that Cricket would ever remember her marriage?
Well, I think at this point, since it's been a substantial period of time since her head injury and her recovery, she's not likely to remember much more about her marriage than she can remember now. Right here.
Dr. Grafman's research specifically focuses on how the hippocampus contributes to remembering, and has shown that in amnesia patients, the hippocampus has actually shrunk. What is it that would cause the hippocampus to shrink?
Everything from Alzheimer's disease to head injury. And in all those cases, the key factor is that cells die in the hippocampus. And when those cells die, the hippocampus will shrink in size. Horse.
That's just what an MRI showed in this young woman, Dr. Grafman's patient, Tiffany Larson.
Deer.
My memory right now is just what's going on around me now. I don't remember yesterday. I don't remember what I did earlier today.
Tiffany, now 22, was just 13 when her family went on a cross-country trip. She'd always been healthy until one day during that vacation when she suddenly felt ill.
I think we were all in a swimming pool, and I remember just sinking down to the bottom of the pool. I just got stiff, and my parents dove in the pool and got me out and stuff, and right then I was in seizures.
She was in a coma for 21 days. When she woke up, she didn't recognize her own parents or know who she was.
After I got out of the coma, my memory was completely wiped out.
Doctors never determined the exact cause of her illness, calling it an unknown virus that was probably encephalitis. And like Cricket Carpenter, Tiffany went through months of rehabilitation to relearn life's basics, but nothing has brought back her memory. Tiffany has had amnesia for 9 years now and can't remember her past or even things that happened the very same day.
And I turned around, I didn't know where the heck I was.
She lives at home with her parents, and if it weren't for the note her mother leaves her each morning, she says she wouldn't know what day it was or what she had to do.
That was good.
We wanted to see what it's like to live with amnesia, so we sent a Dateline crew to spend the day with Tiffany in her hometown of New Bern, North Carolina.
Not so fast. Good girls.
We were with Tiffany for more than 10 hours, filming every aspect of her day. She introduced us to her dogs.
Wind's getting chilly, isn't it, girls? Thanks.
We stopped for lunch at one of Tiffany's favorite spots, the Cow Cafe. In the afternoon, Tiffany and her mom took a walk near a local river, fed the ducks, and showed us a special landmark, a brick inscribed with her name. At the end of the day, she baked us cookies, her favorite activity. 4 days later, we met up with Tiffany again. We sent the same producer and camera crews that she had met just a few days before. What happened next was as surprising to us as it was to her. Can you look around and tell me if there's anyone you recognize behind you, maybe?
No.
Now, do you recognize either of them? The man with the camera?
Uh-uh.
Or the lady with the blonde hair?
No, who are they?
You were with them last Friday.
I was?
They came down to New Bern, North Carolina to visit with you for the day.
Oh, yeah? I don't remember them.
Do you remember their names? Don't remember their faces?
I don't remember anything about them.
Do you remember a television crew coming to town?
Mm-mm. Not at all.
We brought along the video we shot with Tiffany just 4 days before, hoping it might help her remember the visit. Now that you see this, do you remember any of it? Not at all?
Uh-uh.
Nothing?
I don't remember being there or anything about it, no. It's terrible. It's pretty sad, actually, because you don't know what happened afterwards or what happened before. There it is.
Which is exactly what happened when we showed her the rest of the tape. And do you know what these are here?
I don't know what these are. Oh, there's my name.
And do you know where that brick is?
I have no idea where it's at.
Tiffany says the only way she can get through life is to write things down. And even though she's baked cookies hundreds of times, the steps are not in her memory. So each time she has to figure out how to do it all over again. Reading directions as though she had never done it before. Without a note to remind her, she'll forget she's already taken a shower or eaten a meal. Otherwise, she may do them again. Despite her condition, Tiffany managed to graduate from high school, but college and a career are out of the question.
Are you able to hold down any kind of a job?
I did work at a retirement home. I did a lot of painting and maintenance work.
Now, how would you remember what you were supposed to do?
I stayed with somebody all the time.
And they would tell you, do this or do that.
I wanted to be around the old people. They're a lot like me, too. Most of them don't remember anything either.
While she laughs at herself for forgetting,
Frank called on you.
privately, Tiffany's amnesia is painful.
Do you lead a pretty lonely life?
Very lonely. No girlfriends or guy friends or anything. They don't understand how difficult it is for me to remember their names sometimes. If I, turn around, I get lost. I'll forget who I'm with or what their names are. They just treat me like, oh man, you're stupid. Like I'm just useless then.
She does have a boyfriend, someone she's been dating for more than 9 months, someone we had to remind her about.
Do you remember his name?
Frank, I think is his name. Yeah.
Frank?
I think that's it.
Do you remember what he looks like?
He's tall and skinny. I think he has hair on his face. That's all I remember about him.
She did get his name right, but in reality, Frank is 5'10", 180 pounds, medium build, and only has a 5 o'clock shadow. There is no drug, no treatment, no operation to help Tiffany and others like her cope with each day, and no cure anywhere on the horizon that would allow her to dream about her future.
So what kind of a future do you have in store?
I guess not really any.
None?
I guess it'll just come. As the future rolls on, I guess I'll just deal with it then. But till then, I just deal day by day.
Oh, Libby?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cricket and Kim Carpenter take their life one day at a time as well, but their story does have a Hollywood ending of sorts. Since it's unlikely that Cricket will ever remember the day she and Kim got married, they decided to make new memories. The two fell in love all over again and didn't have a moment of doubt when Kim asked Cricket to marry him a second time around.
Only one thing can surpass forever the painful events that we have felt. That is the love I have for you.
This time they hope it's a day that neither of them will ever forget.
I finally have a memory of marrying this man, and that it wasn't just a story anymore. It was our new beginning.
And Tiffany Larson now has something new in her life, a job. She's working part-time at a local bagel shop, accompanied by a coach who helps her remember her tasks. Tiffany has since broken up with her boyfriend, though. Maintaining a social life, she says, is still too difficult.
There it goes again.
Have you had the Chex experience?
It's all about crunching squares, basically.
Squares?
We're square people.
Well, the squares go crunch.
Squares make a good crunch.
It's the Chex explosion of milk and crunch you only get from Chex.
Woohoo!